farthest point will be somewhere shifting on this side. Is it clear? So let's say I started with this point only. I found out the farthest point which was here. Now when I came to this point, I can simply keep rotating this until I find the farthest point. So if I take point P in order on the hull, the point which is farthest to it will also rotate in a particular order. So this loop will also take a total order n time. So we took this point. First thing which we are trying to see, if you take distance of this point from all other vertices, the graph will look something like this. So this will be somewhere here. The distance will increase up to a point and then decrease. This is a unimodular function. We take any point and take distance from all other points in order, the graph will look something like this. So as soon as we reach this point and we see the next one is decreasing, we can stop there. Is it clear? For any point we can do this. So once we stopped here, so let's say in this case it's here. Now we want to find from this point. So for this point, if you are trying to take the graph, similar graph, it will be a slightly shifted version of this, but still unimodular. So let's say we are somewhere here, we'll travel some more to this point and stop again. For the next point, it will be again like this. So from this point we'll travel to this and we can keep going on. So for this point the answer was this. For this point we can keep going from this point to here. Okay? So I'll write the pseudocode, that will probably make it more clear. So we'll set J as 0. Okay, sorry. So for I 0 to n, I 0 to h, h is the number of points on the convex hull. We'll initialize the next vertex. Let's say that is a variable j. Okay. So I from 0 to h, we take while, we'll initialize another variable j as 0, while distance of ij is less than distance of I comma j plus 1, we'll keep increasing j. Distance of ij denotes distance between point I on the convex hull and point j on the convex hull. Convex hull has an ordering, right? So while this distance keeps increasing, we can increase j. We start with j equal to 0 as well. So as soon as we start decrementing, this loop will stop. So we will have one possible answer in form of pair I comma j. Is that clear? Once we have this answer, we will increment I, but note that we don't reset the value of j, because the answer for some other I which comes after this will always be after this particular answer which we found for I. So the answers are also in increasing order. So we don't need to reset the value of j. So this inner loop, although from the outside this looks like two loops nested, it looks like h square or something, it is in fact not, because this inner loop goes only once from 0 to n. So the overall complexity is order h. Now this h is bounded by n, so overall complexity of this is order of n log n. Is this clear? So this is one way to solve this problem. Can all of you open this problem Shaman, on Spoj, you want to find a quadrilateral among these points such that the area is maximized. Is the problem clear? So we obviously have a brute force method which is order of n power 4, right? We take all possible 4 tuple of points, we find the one which has maximum area. Now based on what we have learned before, can anyone suggest an optimization to this?
Get the points of convex hull and H power 4.
Yes. So again, as you can see, since we are looking for the extreme in terms of maximum, all the 4 points will lie on the convex hull. If we take all 4 tuples on convex hull, this gives us order of H power 4, where H is the number of points on convex hull. Any optimization?
Consider all parallel points. Now if you consider all the points above the line joining the 2 points, there will be a unimodal function.
Okay.
Do a turn research. Below also do the turn research.
Okay. So what he suggests is, so the quadrilateral which we will have in the answer, it will have a diagonal. So let's consider these 2 points form the diagonal of the target quadrilateral. So we'll have 1 point on this side, 1 point on this side, right? Now this is a line segment. We take perpendicular distance of all points from this line segment. So there will be one function for this side, one function for this side, right? So we have again, can you understand that those 2 functions will be unimodular, because the distance will increase up to a point then decrease. So one function for this side, one function for this side, both unimodular. Based on this, can we get a better algorithm? Anybody?
We can choose the farthest point from both the points and find farthest point from the, that will be one of the points in the diagonal.
I am not sure if that's true. Did you guys understand ternary search? Can we use it here? We want to find maximum of a unimodular function. We can definitely use ternary search, right? So we can do one ternary search on this part, one ternary search on this part. The number of ways to choose these points are H square. So the complexity is H square into log H plus log H, right? Log H for one side, log H for the other side. So we get, from order of H power 4, we have reduced it to order of H square log H. Can you try to optimize it further? Yes. So his claim is, when I try to rotate the diagonal, the farthest point on either side will also rotate similarly. So if I, instead of taking this, where let's say the maximum distance here was this, here was this, if I started taking this pair, the maximum pair from this side will shift to this, and the maximum from this can shift to this in the same order. So I can use a linear loop to find maximum distance on either side. Then when I am considering the next diagonal, it will simply shift, right? Since we know that this loop, all these points will be considered only once, so in total it will take only order of H square. The conjecture for rotation is fairly intuitive. I believe you guys will understand why that is happening. This was the line earlier. We moved this line to this side. This point remains static. So if we took this point and some other point which came before this point, this point's distance will anyway remain less. But any point which comes after this, that point's distance could have increased. Right? Because this diagonal shifted to this point's distance earlier was, wait. So earlier this point's distance was this much from the diagonal, now it is more, since the diagonal has shifted away. Whereas looking for this point, since it's closer to this point which remains static, the distance won't change as much. So the farthest point will rotate in a particular direction, the direction in which we are rotating the diagonal. So if we consider these points, we can come up with order h square method, because we will consider each point only once on either side. So it is h square, because let's say I took this point as static and I consider all diagonals. Okay, I started from this diagonal, I kept shifting. So point on this side of the diagonal will rotate, point on the other side of diagonal will also rotate. As I am shifting the diagonal, the farthest point on this side rotates like this, the farthest point on this side rotates like this. So I will consider all of them only once. So there are a total of h points, each point I am considering only once. So it is order of h, because if I found the maxima for this diagonal here, for this diagonal the maxima will be afterwards. So I will not consider all these points again. So each point is considered only once. So it becomes order of h square, because order of h for each fixed point. So for each point I rotated the diagonal starting from here up till this point. Now when I considered a particular diagonal, I found, let's say, the optimum here. For the next diagonal, the optimum lies on this part of, so I will not consider these points again. So each point I am considering only once. Right? Because I am moving in a particular order. So I cannot consider same point twice. Which means the overall work that I do will be order of h. So the total complexity is order of h square. Is this clear? So we moved from order of n power 4 brute force to order of h square, which is again order of n square, because h could be, the number of points on convex hull could be n in the worst case. So in general, this technique of rotating is called rotating calipers. We rotate any line and whatever function we are trying to optimize also rotates along with it, and we can use this to optimize to come up with better complexity solution in many geometry problems. I will give you more examples of the problems where we can use this. If you have two convex polygons, I want to find one point on this polygon and one point on this polygon such that the distance between those two is minimum or maximum. The basic method will give you, that is considering all pairs, will give you order of n square. Using the technique of rotating calipers, you can get order of n solution for this. I will explain another new technique. For that, you should first read the problem, D query on sponge. Please read D. So that is what you should follow and read up. Let me know if you can't find it. So all of you read this problem. You are given a sequence of n numbers. And in every query you are